at the Diversity and Innovation Leadership Forum, and I am delighted to have Kim Curley as a guest on the podcast. Welcome.
Thank you. It's awfully nice to be here.
So tell us a little bit about you and your practice at NTT DATA, running VP of People and Organization.
Great memory. So yes, I lead one of our consulting practices, and it is unique in that it is the only practice that's focused exclusively on the human side of business. So most of NTT Data is, well, certainly NTT Data, but most of NTT is very focused on technology and solutions that we bring to the businesses and to people to use, but sometimes we forget there's humans that are using those tools and those techniques and those technologies that we bring to bear. And my group has the wonderful job of dealing with all of the messy humanness that happens when you have a business or an organization that's trying to create great things for the world.
Amazing. So what does that mean? Walk us through, what does a project look like in your practice?
Sure. So they look, first of all, every one of them is different. The most important thing we do is we try to meet our clients where they are. And our goal almost always includes the domain that we call organizational change management. Quite simply put, organizational change management means making sure that people are ready, willing, and able to thrive in whatever that new future is, whether that's a change in business model, a new tool that we're introducing, if we're taking over certain aspects of a company's IT business or a certain process that we're taking over for them. We just want to make sure that the workforce is ready and that the humans know what they need to do. So almost all of our projects and our engagements really start and end with how do we make sure the humans are ready, willing, and able.
Amazing. So I would imagine our topic of diversity and innovation is near and dear to your heart.
It is very near and dear to my heart. There's nothing better than trying to figure out what are all the great elements you have in a workforce and how do you bring them all together so that you can actually advance in a different way. So when you leave out an audience, when you leave out a group, when you leave out a capability, you're really missing the boat. You're leaving, frankly, money on the table. And nobody should do that. So we should find ways to make sure that we're including everybody, bringing everybody along for the ride or for the journey to that really compelling, amazing vision for the future.
Wow. So we have all of these leaders here assembled to talk about exactly how to do that and bring it back into their organizations. Do you have any advice for our audience about where you could get started in thinking about this, or something you could do in the short term with your teams to kind of make sure you're embracing this fundamental idea that folks are really realizing is critical to business?
Yes. So I think I'd say, let's call it 3. We'll see if I end up on 3 or if I end up on 4, but I think it's 3. So the first thing is pay as much attention to the human elements of what you're doing as you do to the data elements or the technology elements. It's really easy to get wrapped up and think about, I'm focused on the data, I'm focused on the data, I'm focused on the technology. Sure. But ultimately, it's a human that's using the data, it's a human that's using the technology. And some are probably saying right now, oh, but AI. It's still humans that are programming AI and programming the queries that we're using to ask questions of the AI. So number one, I would say, make sure you're thinking as much about the humans as you are anything else. It's absolutely critical. Number 2, I would say, is rethink. So if there's anything that you're absolutely certain of, make sure you back up. Because you probably shouldn't be absolutely certain of it. So whatever that thing is that you were just absolutely fundamentally married to, take a step back. You might have bias related to that thing that you're really attached to. You might have experience that could be unpacked and expanded. So if there's something that really gets you and you're really, really passionate, stuck on a particular point, back up and take another look at it. And the last thing I'd say, and I say this to everybody, is be transparent and be authentically you. Because there's absolutely nothing better than leaders who show up as their full selves and bring all of them to work. Because when we do that as leaders, it gives permission and creates environments where everybody else can do that too. So be a little vulnerable, be a little authentic. Show up as your whole self.
I feel like that was the subject of our panel tonight. The leaders were sharing that about being authentic, and it was pretty raw, I have to say, as a business person watching folks be so authentic. It's not what we're used to.
It's not. It's not. It's maybe what we should
Yeah.
aspire to
Yeah.
or maybe should move towards.
Yeah.
It's the way you create trust in organizations. It's the way you propel people and businesses forward. So it's a good thing to try.
Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast, Kim. Hope to have you back.
Great. Happy to anytime. Thanks.